So we have a player for Windsor already in the line for Madrid. She's the pivot, so I'm guessing she'll probably play offense. We'll see how that goes. It's interesting to see that you immediately go for the 3+1 tactic that a lot of teams nowadays are using. A set and dedicated offense, which is obviously a 2-2-2. She is called, I'm sorry, I have to look it up, Riley Cyrus. And lead goes to Windsor. So the tactic of the 3+1 might have worked. We have 15, number 15, I'm sorry, Furia Polygion. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her name. She's jamming number 15 for Madrid. Second scoring pass for number 10 for Royal Windsor Roller Girls. That's Tash Bandicoot. That's a reference to a computer game, I think. Crash Bandicoot. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Who knows? And we have a star stash done by number 15 from Madrid, who has a bit of a trouble passing that strong Royal Windsor wall. But then their own jammer is also stuck behind the Madrid wall. Will it be because they take the tactic from 3+1, but then they have one player in the box, so they have a full defense wall, and then their jammer does not get the offense? We'll see. It's interesting to see. 2 blockers in the penalty box, 1 for Windsor, 1 for Madrid. And of course, 2 jammers getting ready on the track. I'm smiling to my colleague here. And yes, ready to go. 2 walls of 3. A quick and powerful start done by the Madrid jammer 92, Dam Veneno, but she has been recycled to the back. It was impressive. Too bad she fell over. She gets a little bit of offense from her 52. That is Bambi Killer. What a nice name. And we have 1-1-2 Fletcher for Windsor jamming. She was true, but the Madrid jammer was true first. She was recycled back. She had lead, so she called it off. She was still in her initial pass, so she couldn't score points. The other girl was already through. And we have 2 full walls. Score for now is 0-15 for Windsor. Again, 1 girl playing offense for the Windsor jammer, but it is Madrid who takes the lead. 3-3-3, Clara Despistes. I'm sorry, I don't speak any word of Spanish. Okay, I speak a little, hola. I can say hola. And 31 is through. That is Blambiet. I'm sorry. Struggling a bit with how this works. Yes. First edition of Skate Around is going great. I am looking forward to see what will happen tomorrow, because tomorrow we have the finale games being played. I won't be here, but I will be looking at the live stream. We have 4 points scored by Madrid, and their jammer being recycled back. Number 0 playing offense for her jammer against the wall of Madrid, but they are really strong, easily reformed. They go really low, so the jammer has difficulties passing by, being recycled back. Jammer for Madrid taking the offense, but it's also difficult for her, but she passes and she gets lead 200. And her name is Bloody Miwi. She's in her scoring pass, trying to get through, calling it off, because the jammer for Windsor was really close 2 points at least scored there by Madrid. Yes, I was counting correctly. Thank God. On the jammer line again. Number 10, Tash Bendicoot. I talked about her. She's named after a video game. The more you know. The more you know. Derby, you'll learn something. We're looking at a small score differential. It's a tough game. I think the teams, for now, are really competitive. Let's see how that works out and who can keep their head in the game and keep their focus. Nice. Number 10 has the lead. She passed through the inside, but she's quickly followed and actually, well, number 15 is faster. That is, again, Furia Poligionera. Maybe I shouldn't try. You can read that off the screen. You don't need me pronouncing those names. What was I thinking? One jammer for Windsor in the penalty box. One blocker, I'm sorry. Number 9, if I'm correct. That is Rosie Rocket Pants. Funny names. I enjoy Derby for that. Don't you? And the jam has started quickly there, done by the Madrid jammer. That is 92, jamming away Dam Veneno. We have seen her before, and again, then also she got lead. So let's see what happens. And number 112, Fletcher, is stuck behind that Madrid wall. It's very difficult for her to pass. She needs her offense, who comes in. And she's through. Madrid jammer still fighting the 2-2-2 Riley Cyrus. But she calls it off, manages to score 4 points, I guess, for her team. That brings the points to 10 and against 15. So the quick start that Windsor was taking and the easy leads, well, I won't call it easy, but the easier leads that they were getting, kind of, they're struggling a bit and they have a bit of difficulty. And also, they always start with one blocker in the box, which makes their strategy of 3+1 a bit more difficult, which Madrid is not taking on, which gives them an easier way to get through. And again, they have lead. 3-3-3. Clara Despices pushes through in quick pursuit of the jammer from Windsor. And number 31, that was Blambiet. I will not pronounce her name again. I'm sorry. That was so confusing. And again, Windsor is starting with one blocker in the penalty box. They should, well, I'm not here to coach, but maybe look into that. And Windsor pushes through, trying to hit her out. It was successful, but then they went out themselves. Multiplayer block there by number 2. Star Stash by the jammer, and she pushes through thanks to her good offense. 101 is jamming, that's Catapult, or Catapult. We all know what that is. And the Windsor jammer is in the pack. No calling done by Madrid. I think they want to go for the points. Both jammers struggling a bit. A lot of pushing and pulling there done on the end. But in the end, 200 wins that battle. And she pushes through. Bloody Miwi jamming for Madrid. 101 passes through as well, also scoring the 4 points. Offense there done by Madrid, 8-6. Nice, but it didn't work. The Windsor walls were a bit too quick to reform. Madrid is through, scoring the 4 points. And their pivot off to the penalty box, number 8-6. That is Hawaii. What an exotic name. I sure would like to be in Hawaii. It's really cold here. I think the girls from Madrid will agree with me. And as they are used to warmer climates. Both jammers struggling a bit. Nice footwork there done by number 200 for Madrid. Spinning her way past the pack. And then the jammer for Windsor manages to stay in bounds despite the efforts of the blockers for Madrid. And the jam is called off. That brings the total up to 24 for Madrid and 23 for Windsor. That is a really close game for now. Let's see how that works. One blocker in the penalty box for Madrid. And we'll see what happens. Jamming again for Madrid is number 15. And number 10 for Windsor, Tash Bendicoot. But it's number 15 who takes the lead. Windsor bleeding out a blocker. Number 40 off to the penalty box. 10 pushing her way past and using all her force to push the Madrid blockers to the floor. Number 15 quick enough to take that last point and then call it off, which gives them the lead position in this game. We had a lead change earlier with the 24-23, but they are taking that lead and well, enlarging it a little, let's say that. I don't know if that's how you call it. 28 against 23 for those teams. One blocker for Windsor in a penalty box. It's as if. And number 92 manages to get lead. Windsor struggles a bit with the wall. 2-2-2 wants to get offense, but she doesn't really get through. Fletcher, strong, hard work. An impressive fall there done by a 9-2. Pushed out on the floor by Gravy, and she calls off the jam. Uh, 4 points scored, and so it was a good call. 32 against 23. Madrid taking that leap a little farther. Excuse me, that was a weird sound. Did you hear that? I sure did. And we have Clara Despitz and Glenn Hyde on the jammer line for their teams. We're cutting up the track for number 33. 333, that is a jammer. So we have a power jam situation for Windsor. They only have 2 blockers on the line, so it's easier. She tried to call off the jam, but she does not have lead position. Well, she does. Why? I don't get it. I don't get why that didn't work. Maybe it was called a little later. She's battling, getting good offense, but the walls for Madrid are strong. High block called there right in the end. Windsor choosing to freeze the jammer for Madrid in the penalty box. And if I'm not mistaken, no. I thought she was maybe getting a second penalty because she was sitting back down, but that was not the case. This was a heavy power jam for Madrid because they start with 2 blockers in the penalty box and their jammer in the penalty box. Interesting tactic there played by Windsor, but not enough to get their points ready. Nice. She has lead, but she is being recycled by number 86, who played a really nice hit there. Hawaii done great. Struggling with a 2-wall there, but she's through 101. That is catapult or catapult. the entire wall for Madrid again on the track. A bit of a struggle there for Catapult. Maybe it's the slippery floor. And she calls off the jam nicely. She passed all the blockers for Madrid as far as I could see, so she scores the 4 points, bringing the total differential up to 1 point. 32 for Madrid and 31 for Windsor. Empty penalty box, imagine. And nice. We have our number 10 on the jammer line for Windsor, and number 15 for Madrid. We've seen this battle before. We know how they play. It's interesting to see still. 2 people for offense there for Windsor. Sadly, their jammer is off to the penalty box for a back block. So the power jam is now in favor of Madrid. Number 15 will try to make the most of it, I guess. 2 blockers on the... It's the exact situation as it was last time. So 2 blockers in the penalty box, jammer in the penalty box, and Madrid is off to battle a 2-wall. They choose passive offense, but for number 15, it was kind of a struggle. We'll see what happens next. They are anticipating the jammer to return. Number 33 chooses the offense. Number 15 taking the offense, but still Windsor is quick to reform. And number 22 nicely anticipated. Riley Cyrus, that is. In case you didn't notice, the jammer is back on the track. But she has her star in her hand, which is always interesting, especially if you come out of the penalty box, to enlarge the confusion with Madrid. So she manages to pass, put back her star on her head. But in the end, Madrid is in charge. Number 15 was lead, and so she calls off the jam. This was a power jam for 12 points against 0, bringing the Madrid girls up to 44, Windsor up to 31. We'll see what happens next. We have a timeout called by Windsor. We can only imagine what they are talking about. We see the refs in the middle taking that time as well to have a little drink. You know, we all need those officials. We know how hard it is, and they are playing their best game as well. And they are not team no fun. They are extremely nice, and so we like them. So we're happy that they're here playing, well, not playing, but showing us what we should or should not do. Have you heard about our sponsors? Well, we are sponsored by Derby Addict, which is a Belgian brand of clothing. They produced the skate around shirts that you might see pop up in the live feed. And for this weekend, they gave a special discount code on derbyaddict.com. You can use the code SkateAround2017 and get a 15% discount on your online purchases. Wow, I struggle with English, that's for sure. All right, and we are looking again at a quick jam. Nice by 92. A lot of chaos on the track, a lot of reforming. Both the jammers are through. 92 was lead. She calls off the jam pretty quickly against 112 Fletcher, who is also through that wall. Empty penalty box. A lot of chaos, a lot of vitesse, a lot of fast gameplay. And we're off with the second jam. We have, again, number 333 on the as a jammer for Madrid, and number 31, I'm sorry. 31, yeah. Blambit. Blambit? I should stop trying that. Nice work there on the outside, passing on her toe stops, using her agility to pass all those blockers and calling off the gem because the gemmer for Madrid 333 Clara Despites was coming Pistes was coming really close. I wonder if that's her real name. Maybe not. Could be anything. 2 blockers in the penalty box, 1 for Madrid and 1 for Windsor. So both gemmers will face a 3-wall. And immediately the pack is really tight. And keeping the game slow, not passing that gemmer line really. But it is number 200, I'm sorry, 200 Bloody Miwi who passes the blockers first. Madrid playing nice offense there by number 7, Lake. Oh, I'm not sure. By Lake there, we have a star stash by number 101, but the Madrid girls are not easily distracted and they know which girl they should hold, especially that pivot. That pivot is giving me goosebumps. She's everywhere. 8-6, watch out for her. Yes, I saw that happening. 101 got a penalty. Took too long to get off the track and got an insubordination. So two penalties for the jammer, and that means an extra long power jam for Madrid. A hit against the face for 200, and an apology again directly from the blocker for Windsor. But they choose to call off the jam. 200 said, "I've had enough," and she will leave it up to the next jammer on the track to actually play the game. They froze the jammer for Windsor in the box. Again, also a blocker for Windsor in the box. Also a blocker for Madrid in the box. So we'll see what happens next. Number 15 is Gemma. We've seen her before. She's a pretty agile jammer, one who is not afraid to take the edges. But she is waiting for her offense now, which is good. The blockers are not doing that work for nothing. But she passes nicely on the outside line. Number 91 did not completely cut it to the inside line. And so she is now off to her scoring pass. Number 33 trying some offense, but another blocker for Windsor is on the track, and they were trying to goad her, but she is pretty fast, but they've managed to do so. Although number 15 is now struggling a bit with that tripod for Windsor. She manages to play them apart, but they hit her out anyway and to the floor, so she's recycled about 1/4 of the track. 2 blockers for Windsor all of a sudden to the penalty box, and not only a blocker but also a jammer. And so we have another power jam for Madrid. It's a bit early to call in. Well, no, we still have 8 minutes in this period, so it's not that early. But it's maybe a little bit confusing that for the Windsor girls, but they really, the fact that they bleed out so many penalties and therefore blockers makes them an easy target or an easier target for the girls from Madrid. I think if they would have less penalties, the game would be a little more even. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? But number 15 is doing an awesome job. We had a start pass there to the pivot for Windsor. We are looking at the points now. 72 for Madrid, 36 for Windsor. Windsor did manage to score 1 point, so the confusion was not only mine, but also the girls from Madrid did not see that pivot, star stash, star pass kind of situation going on. A team timeout called for Madrid, so everybody's taking a little break. And I was talking to you about my sponsors, not my sponsors, but the sponsors. Belighted are a company and they sponsored or provided the great short shirts for the NSOs this weekend. You can definitely see them on the live feed. Look how beautiful and pink they are. I love it. Bertin Chumps are providing nice local beer this weekend. And the people on the live feed don't really have anything to do with that, but we can enjoy that nice local beer here, right here. And the timeout is over. We are starting with an empty penalty box this time. So people have been listening. Maybe probably not, but you know, I like to make myself important. And we'll see what happens next. So on the jammer line, we have number 31. And for Windsor, I can't see the jammer for it's number, I'm sorry, 92. And nice blocking there done by the pivot for Windsor, but not enough to hit that jammer out. And number 10 is still struggling against that wall for Madrid. Their tripod is nice at the reforming. Even the offense, the full dedicated offense by 222 is not enough to push those blockers aside. And number 10 is really pushing those girls aside. And she's through. And quickly, the jam is called off by number 92, Dam Veneno, for Madrid. Ooh, 4 seconds. Never heard that before. One blocker in the penalty box for Windsor. If this goes on, they'll probably have a fallout for someone. Number 333 is battling those walls of Windsor. She's normally a pretty quick jammer, and she gets a forearms penalty. So we have a power jam in favor of Windsor. Fletcher will try to make the most of it. They can use the points, that's for sure. But still, the game is pretty close, and none of the teams have managed to get past that 100 barrier. So that's interesting to see. Let's see who gets there first. It's not like a convincing part. And with the full offense, Fletcher manages to push through. She has a little communication with her coach, who says to call it off, so they can freeze the jammer in the penalty box. That is number 333 for Roller Derby Madrid. That is Clara Despistes. I'm sorry, Clara, if you see this again, then you think I am misusing your name. I'm terribly sorry. Just focus on the fact that I misuse everybody's name. So we start with a power jam or a power start for Windsor. But the jammer is stuck behind all of those blockers. Number 222 is the last girl there, and she really manages to hold that jammer for just a second, which is enough. But number 333 has lead in the end, the jammer for Windsor is being recycled. We are looking at number 331. She does a start pass to number 91, who managed last time that this happened to score at least 1 point for her team. A jammer off to a blocker off to the penalty box. No point scored. She tries, but I don't think the jam ref will do it anyway. 77 for Madrid, 41 for Windsor. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We're still looking at 3 minutes, well, 4 minutes and 3/4 for this half. I don't think one will get past the 100 barriers. Maybe, who knows? If they're all as quick as number 15, they might. Quick start there. Something happened with the pivot cover. Number 101, Catapult, is battling those strong defensive walls of Madrid. Number 222 tries her best as to hold that jammer one last time. She pushes, tries to do offense, but gets a penalty for it. And also a jammer for blocker for Madrid off to the penalty box. They call off the jam. Number 15 scores the 4 points and says, for me, this is enough. We're looking at a point differential of 40 points, so slowly but surely, 43 points. Madrid is taking that lead and they're building it up to that 100 barrier. I'm guessing they want to see that happen as eagerly as I am. So 2 blockers in the penalty box. The jammers are both battling 3 walls. A bit of a fall and a stumble there for Tasha Bendicoot. But she has lead in the end. And the pivot there doing a great job of holding that jammer one more time. 91. Trying to push that jammer out. Number 40 was there with her pivot to make sure that happened. Number 10 passes everyone and scores the 4 points, calling it off, saying, that's enough for me. 84 for Madrid, 45 for Windsor. In roller derby, this means nothing, right? There's like 2 power jams that were there. It can happen. I've seen it happen before. So, stays a bit exciting. Number 333 on the jammer line for Madrid. She has to face a 3-wall. And number 112, Fletcher for Windsor, pushing that tripod ferociously and making lead. She pushes them right out. And we have a number 33 going off to the penalty box. Number 333 in close pursuit, taking that 1 point, Fletcher says, and she calls off the jam. Well, 2 points because we also had a blocker in the penalty box. Quick jam that was. We will have 1 or 2 maybe going on for today, depends on what happens. Two put walls for the both teams. Some offense there done by number 1-2-1-1. But Madrid is really quick in the recycling and turning around the offense, which makes it very difficult to play good offense. But it's not enough. 31 is too strong, pushes the blockers further, not all the way to the line, and she pushes through on the inside. We have a start pass to number 86 for Madrid, who is now the jammer, still held by number 222, who does the I have the jammer at the last minute quite often. And then we have a small score, 2 points scored by number 31 for Windsor. Number 15 from Madrid against number 31 from Windsor. And one blocker in the penalty box, I'm sorry, for Madrid. Number 222 standing there in playing offense for her jammer in a good way, because number 10 is lead now. The Madrid jammer is stuck behind that pivot for Windsor, who's really good at the one-on-one apparently, and Windsor manages to reform in front so that number 15 is still working on her initial pass, which she, while I was saying it, manages to get through. And some pushing and pulling in the end, and number 10 and number 31, 10, I'm sorry, number 10, that is Tash Bandicoot, passes the line, the entire pack, and calls it off. Low block? Maybe not. 1 point scored for Madrid, 3 points scored for Windsor in that last moment. We have 5 points scored in total for Madrid and 13 points scored for Windsor, which brings the two teams again closer together again. So 89 for Madrid and 62 for Windsor. So close, so close. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Madrid's jammer pushing and pushing and pushing, but it's and she gets lead for it. 92. It's Fletcher who is struggling a bit behind the wall, trying to go for the lines, but Madrid is really good at going all the way to the line, trying to hold her in for a little bit longer, but she does not. It doesn't work. 2-2-2 pushes the jammer out, but falls to the floor, and therefore the jammer does not have to step behind her. So all that effort for nothing. Empty penalty box, people. So nice. I'm sorry if I mix up number 10 and number 31. It's because they are wearing the same helmet. Oh, that's so bad. I know. I'm sorry. Full lines. We have number 007. What would that number mean? Doing offense for Windsor. Xenia one block. I haven't seen her play yet, so maybe she's new in this second part. Gravy hitting the jammer out and making sure that number 333 is pushing fast and hard. She does manage to get lead, getting past that. A little chaos at the end for Windsor. And that means that number 31 is still stuck behind that wall of Madrid. Everybody is so occupied with getting their jammer through that they don't see the jammer for Madrid passing on the inside. There's a star pass done to the pivot of Windsor, number 91, Timsey. I wonder if that's her birth year. If that's her birth year, we are the same age. Nah. Madrid going ferociously for that pivot line. And we have seen this line before for Windsor. They have one player in the penalty box. And we'll see what happens. Tash Bendicoot is pushing that wall, going from in to out and from out to in to play that wall apart. But Madrid is playing the full defense, trying to push her out. She is a strong player and she knows her lines. She's almost in between those players, folded double, playing them at each other. And a penalty for 52. Madrid jammer has lead. In the meantime, number 200, that is Bloody Me. We've seen her jam before. We have a star pass to number 222, who is the pivot. She puts up the star, see what happens. And they call off the jam. Little cough there. I have a cold. I am sorry if you notice. Two blockers in the penalty box, one for Madrid and one for Windsor. So we are looking at 3 walls now for both teams. Jammers already. Almost a split there by 92 from Madrid, Dam Veneno. We've seen her jam before. She's really fast and agile. Windsor blockers are not fast and strong enough to push her out. But to the floor, they push her to the floor. Number 222 together with number 40, the captain for Windsor, battling that out. But she still manages to get lead. Madrid has lead. And number 101 is struggling against that wall for Madrid. Being pushed out, recycled, not a good sight. Scatapult, who is now jamming for Windsor. She did a start stash. And but the jam's called off because 92 saw what was coming. Two blockers in the penalty box. One pivot, two pivots. One pivot for Windsor, one pivot for Madrid. And then we are looking at the two jammers on the jammer line. Bit of confusion there, going from 1-1. The jammer for Madrid being stuck behind her own wall a little and then being pushed to the floor. So lead goes to Fletcher, number 112 for Windsor. The wall manages to keep her a little bit longer, but not long enough. Strong offense there by Windsor. And with a bit of heated call off by Fletcher. Scoring 3 points, I think. Yeah, of course, there is someone in the penalty box, so 3 points in total. We have Madrid who passed the 100 barrier. They are now at 108. And then we have Windsor at 65. Point differential of 43 points. That means nothing, but in the meantime, as we see the game progressing, every time the differential is at 4. We have the packets front, 31 battling a 2-wall for Madrid. The 2 walls for Madrid are very impressive. I've seen it in the last game as well, that they are not easily disrupted by the fact that they are only 2. But it's not good enough. They get stuck behind the Windsor wall, and they give lead to number 31 for Windsor. We have a cover on the floor, number 333, trying to give a star pass, did not manage. Being recycled. She has a star pass. Nice offensive work there by number 33 from Madrid, but it wasn't enough to actually get the Windsor players out. We only have one blocker in the penalty box, but we have a fallout. First fallout today, well, not today, but for Windsor in this game. Windsor manages to score 3 points in total, 108 against 608. 68, not 608. Wow, what an impressive score that would be. We have number 9 leaving the track, that is Rosie Rocket Pants. I have to say, I mainly saw her in the penalty box, so I think that's, well, hence why she has a fallout. So Windsor is 1 player down, and they still have 1 player in the penalty box. So Gravy doing some offense there for 112. Fletcher, but Fletcher is sent to the penalty box for, I think, a cutting. Yes, a cutting. And so she has to sit for half a minute in the penalty box. In the meantime, number 200 is battling to get past that wall. Even if this is a power jam, Windsor will not make it easy on the jammer. A clear and set offense is what she needs, I think. Wow! Bit aggressive there, but it was legal. That's what the refs say, so that's what I say. That's 4 blockers against number 200 for Madrid, Bloody Miwi, who has a particularly hard time passing that wall. Fletcher is ready to be on the track again. She's on the track. She will battle the 3-wall And forearms penalty for Miwi. So we are looking at a power jam situation for Windsor. And Windsor manages to get that sweeping motion on the outside pretty well, but they forget that 52 is not to be messed with. 52 is a blocker you should really look out for. That's Bambi Killer. I talked about her in the beginning that she has a pretty ferocious and aggressive name, but it matches her playing style. She's really good. She has a good vision of the track. She knows where to be. She plays counter offense like it's nothing, and then she plays offense, defense. Her switch from offense to defense is really, really quick. She's an impressive player, one to look out for. So for Madrid, it's pretty interesting to know that they have played Amsterdam, and they played Amsterdam before, but they did not play Windsor before, so that's the first time. There is nothing said about any of them playing for Team Spain. Oh yeah, they have a few Team Spain skaters, but there's not said who that might be. But I think if I have a choice, I would choose 52. She's really good, and she, in this game, has a really good overview of what has to happen. In the meantime, the score is still 108 against 668. So no points were scored in that last jam, although there were 2 power jams. So that's very impressive. And that also means that these two teams are really, really close to each other, that they are that they are really a good, they battle really good against each other. They're an equal match. That was what I was looking for. An equal match. Yes. They have 3 wins at them before they won the last 3 games. They also won their first game here at Skate Around, so let's see what happens now. 40 points differential, 108 for Madrid, 68 for Windsor. Both jammers struggling really hard. We have number 10 and 92 struggling between the walls. The walls of Windsor were a little scattered, and therefore 92 managed to pass those last 2 blockers. Jammer for Windsor off to the penalty box, number 10. And this is therefore a power jam for Madrid. Oof. Forearms penalty for 92. I thought it might be a cutting the track penalty, but then she saw it in the end. But then she did have, a forearms penalty. Number 10 therefore re-enters the track. Some offense there done, getting a goat in the front. 462 has been goated. She will try to battle that quick reform there by Madrid, pushing that jammer out. Nicely, dude. Nicely done, but number 5 gets a penalty for it. Was it worth it? Who knows? Number 10 passes. Number 92 struggles to get past, being pushed out and being recycled by number 7. Quick reform, no offense for Madrid. 92 being stuck there between the tripod of Windsor. Number 007 trying to push 92 out, but it did not work. Full hand of points for Madrid, 2 points for Windsor. So we have a bit of a difference in score. 113 for Windsor, 74 for Windsor, 113 for Madrid. We have 1 blocker in the penalty box, number 40, Gravy for Windsor in the penalty box. And wow, quick quick reform there, done by 222 and 0 for against the jammer 15, but it does not work. She's quick enough to pass, gets lead, and then Windsor is in quick pursuit. 101 is also through, ready for her scoring pass. Number 15 is working on that, going for the links between the two, calling it off, but I think there was a point in there for Windsor. Yes, 1 point scored for Windsor, 4 points for Madrid, 117 for Madrid, 75 for Windsor. That's what we're looking at now. So Windsor are a team from the UK. We don't see that very often in like the continent of Europe, that UK teams come and play. Although last week at the Brabo Cup there was an UK team as well. 3-3-3, battling against the last two blockers for, but she was out of play, and then she did keep on blocking, so she is off to the penalty box. 2 blockers in the penalty box, 3 blockers in the penalty box for Windsor, and 3-3-3, freezing them all. Next jam will start with 1 blocker for Windsor on the track, and a full set of blockers and jammer for Madrid. Let's see what happens. 121 for Madrid, 75 for Windsor. Interesting game. We'll see what they quick lead for number 200 for Madrid. Fletcher, they're stuck behind the full Madrid wall, who are really good at countering the offense, turning around the offense, making sure that the offense is redundant almost. I'm sorry for that word, that was a bit harsh, but still. And then we have Fletcher off to the penalty box for, I think, a cutting the track penalty. Yes, a cutting the track penalty. So we have a power jam for Madrid. And the Madrid blockers working their ass off. 91 says, no, not with me, and she pushes the jammer to the floor. Full sets of blockers for Madrid. They wanted to go for passive offense, but the jammer is not pushing hard enough to get them out of play. 91 again, last jammer. 222, last blocker, I'm sorry. She calls off the jam. Full set of blockers in the penalty box. 1 blocker for Madrid, 2 blockers for Windsor, and their jammer, who has this cover in her hand. And now she has it on her helmet. She has to do another 5 seconds. Well, she's pretty obvious about it. It's not like I'm guessing or anything. So 1 blocker, that's the second time that we have almost this start. So there's a passive offense chosen by Madrid, but 91 gets a back block penalty for pushing against that wall. 1-1-2, Fletcher manages to get through, but she does not have a lead. Full wall of Madrid on the track. 8-7-7 blocks the jammer, but there is a lot of pushing and pulling, and the wall is a little scattered, so Fletcher has an easier way to get past. 92 back on the track. 1-1. She is back on her initial pass. That does not look as easy as her first, but she does manage to get through. A few helps on the inside, and she has her way out. Another blocker for Windsor off to the penalty box. Windsor pushing that wall. Star pass to number 91, the blocker for Windsor, who also plays pivot. That's Timney. 92 skating around. We are looking at a jam for the full 2 minutes because both jammers are not lead. Madrid's wall is a little scattered, so Timmy has an easier way to get through. But then also 92 only has to pass 2 blockers of Windsor, which makes it easier to pass. Now, even now they are scattered, but now they're together, and so they block. I should not swear on the live stream. So they recycle 92 back to the pack. That was a very tiring jam. It almost made me tired just from looking at it. You know it's tiring when I get tired. And that's not true. I'm easily tired. Official review for black. I'm guessing what this is for. Empty penalty box. No jammer in the penalty box. No, I don't know, maybe the points? Points that were given that should not be given? That's the only thing I can come up with. I'm guessing here. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So we have a full set of blockers and jammers on the track. And an official review. So that gives me time to talk about our sponsors. You would love to know about our sponsors. I know you do. We are sponsored by Akinapolis. It's a cinema theater down the street in Jambes, Belgium, and they have contributed to making this tournament a reality. Thank you, Akinapolis. Skate Around would also like to thank the province of Namur and the Floret Sport Centre for their investment and trust in this tournament. So great thanks out to them, big shout out. And of course, we also have Sucker Punch Skate Shop. They're not only a sponsor, but they're also an in-house shop today. They are happy to sponsor the first edition of Skate Around. If you're ever in Ghent, you should really go there. They have a really nice shop. They sell you anything from all around. Great derby gear, great service, and the boss of the shop is Miss Miyagi. She also plays with Lille Roller Girls since very shortly. I think last weekend was her first game with Lille. So she has the knowledge and all the things she needs to give you great advice on what to buy if you ever need something. Sucker Punch Skate Shop is the place to be. You can also check them out online, suckerpunchskateshop.com. We are also sponsored by Rydell Skates. They are even here on the tournament as well, and they've been in skate business for 70 years. So if you are in doubt, if you want to know anything, they are the place to go. You can also check them out on rydellskates.com. And Quad Roller Skate Shop is also a sponsor. They sponsor many European roller derby events. Find out more about their products and their shop at quadrollerskateshop.com. The Derby Shop is Amsterdam's shop for all things derby, because roller derby saved your soul but wrecks all of your gear. Check them out at derbyshop.com or go to their shop in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is a nice place to be. They are also playing here today, the team from Amsterdam. They are playing later on today at 7:30 against Namur, which I think will be a nice battle to look for. We are currently looking Madrid, Windsor, and the official review is over. No calls were made, I think. So we start with a full set of blockers for both teams. Bit of creative offense there. And number 15 off to the penalty box for a forearms penalty. That leaves number 101 to fend for herself. That is Catapult going for the inside, but again, number 86 is quicker than that, pushing her out on the inside. We have number 52 who manages to skate around the offense and pushing her out. And she's back in front. I told you she's a good player. You should really look out for her because she knows the game through and through. You can see that on the way she plays. So 101 is still struggling to pass and to get her initial pass. In the meantime, number 15 is back on track, and lead is still open. So struggling against that last blocker, both of them. Number 15 is through. Number 2 off to the penalty box for Windsor. And whoopa! It's as if they didn't see her coming. Beautifully done there by number 15, going for the outside line. In the meantime, we have a start pass for Windsor against 102, 101. Lovelock, a multiplayer block for the Madrid players. Look at that wall. How beautiful is that? They are a flat wall, 2 of them, and they are so nicely working together. 52, 86, and 121 is through. Right in time for the jam clock to end this game, to end this jam, I'm sorry. And nice work there done by the Madrid blockers. 0 points were scored for Windsor, and 10 points were scored for Madrid. And Windsor had a power jam in their advantage. So that is incredible work there done by the blockers for Madrid. Kudos. I don't know if that's Spanish, but if it is, here you go. And again, we're looking at the jammers. That is 31, looking and waiting for her offense. But again, look at how nicely those Madrid walls turn around that offense. In the meantime, number 333 is also pushing her way past, but lead goes to number 31 for Windsor. In quick pursuit is number 333 for Madrid. 3-1. And she calls off the jam when 333 is coming too close. So that's 2 points for Windsor, 0 points for Madrid. But in the meantime, the difference between the teams has enlarged a little. So 50 points from what used to be 40. 174 for Madrid, 93 for Windsor. Still 6 minutes on the clock. Anything can happen, but a point differential of 54 points is quite large, even in Derby. An offense there done by 52, but it was not enough to get to 200. The pass. She gets a failure to reform penalty, and we have the Madrid jammer as a as lead. Windsor in close pursuit, a lot of fast gameplay there, which I think is what Madrid loves. They seem to relish in a quick gameplay. 2 points scored each, so it's an equal match. Windsor is almost there with the 100 barrier. We'll see what happens. 52. I am so sorry to see you go. She is off with a fallout. A lot of penalties were called here today, so I'm guessing there might be a few more coming. In the meantime, we have a nice reforming wall for Madrid, and a good recycling done by Windsor. It did cost them a blocker. 91 in the penalty box. 101 leads for Windsor. An empty, a full penalty box, full house there. 2 blockers for Windsor, 2 blockers for Madrid. 101 made to call it off. A lot of all smiles for that last hit that happened. 3 points to 0 for Windsor on that last jam. They're getting really close. 2 more points and they're past the 100 barrier. We'll see what happens. 2 blockers each on the general line. Anything can happen. But it's for Windsor, quickly and nicely done by 31. She has a bit of trouble with her gear. There's a shell on the track, which is probably pretty dangerous. And save the day. Sepp, he does it every time. He is a ref for... he's a ref in Lille. Good ref in Lille. 31 has trouble with her gear. She calls off the jam because she was looking for her shell that's over her knee pads. Maybe she should buy some new ones. I heard Sucker Punch is in the house. Maybe you should buy some new knee pads there. Who knows? I should. Full set of walls for both teams. Good offense there done by 222, but not good enough. Their jammer is being recycled back, and number 333 is also being recycled. I see that both teams choose not to recycle all the way and scatter themselves out, but stay together and let the jammers go a little bit back, which is always a good idea if the jammers are both quick and agile. Number 333 battling still with the Windsor walls, almost no room to pass. And a forearms penalty for number 112, Fletcher. 91 also off to the penalty box for Windsor. So a little bit confusion there for the jammer of Madrid. She asked if it was a no pass, no penalty to her jam ref. But it's a power jam in her favor, so she should make the most of it. Power jams are always very stressful for jammers because they know so much is depending on them. Windsor is quick to reform, but 333 is quicker to pass. And the passive offense for Madrid worked. They played them out of play, and so 333 could pass, scoring the 5 points that her team needs. Offense there done by number 7. 333 passes again, being pushed out by 222. An impressive player as well. No one could call off the jam. There are no leads in this game, so we're looking at a 2-minute jam. In the meantime, Windsor passed the 100 barrier with 102. We are looking at 54 for Madrid. 333 took it to the floor against 9-1. Against 91. A quick ask if it's okay. She smiles. Everybody's still smiling. Everybody's loving this game. Differential 107, 10 versus 7 on that last jam. I'm sorry, I'm switching everything up. We are an official review called for black. I'm wondering what that is about. We have an empty penalty box, so. We're looking at a point differential of 54 points, 159 for Madrid and 105 for Windsor. Anything, well, we still look at like 1 minute on the clock, so maybe the official review is asked to have another jam, but that would have happened anyway, so I'm really looking forward to see what this official review is about. Anything you should know about these teams? So Madrid won their last 3 games, which was against Roller Derby Vigo, Rock and Roller Derby Murcia, and Brussels Derby Pixies the last time. And Royal Windsor lost their 3 last games against Croydon Roller Derby, Limerick Roller Derby, and London Rock and Rollers. So it's easy to, it's not easy. It's interesting to see where this is going, because this looks like for now a loss for Windsor again. It's their first game here, so we'll see them again today at 5:30 against the Quads of Paris, who have also lost their first game. So we'll see what happens and how this will work. Madrid has won their first game against the Quads. If they are done with this game, they should not play again today, and they will play again tomorrow. I don't know against which team they will come out. I don't know how that works. I'm not a roller derby genius. I'm just an announcer. So we see that the next people are ready to play. At 3:30, we are looking at the game from Albany against Namur. Please check in. I will also be announcing that game. So we'll see what happens. Albany had a bit of a struggle against Amsterdam. So I'm looking forward if they change their tactics to play against Amsterdam. Official review time is over. We still have 54 seconds on the clock. I was going to say minutes, but that would mean a full game. Let's not do that because I really want to eat. I'm hungry. Something is smelling really nice here. I'm guessing it's the amazing catering. Nicely done there by Madrid. An offensive player off to the penalty box. 31 playing for Windsor. And wow, both the jammers are struggling really tough. It's been a hard game for both. I think they both played really toughly. Number 200 has a lead for Madrid. That is Bloody Miwi. Number 40 holding her, but not in that way. 91, last girl on the track, but she is passed by Miwi anyway. 31 still stuck behind the wall of Madrid. She's still working on her initial pass. In the meantime, she has a star stash, but 91, who is the pivot for Windsor, is working defensively on Miwi. So the walls are really strong, and the jammers have difficulty getting through. Look at that jammer for Amsterdam pushing that great defensive wall for Windsor. A reform. I'm sorry. And 31 is through. Ready for her scoring pass. And Madrid calls it off.